we have no allies. None. Not in this country. And we need to realize that quick, fast, and in a hurry. There's no time left to be trying to have a coalition of minorities. There is no time for us to jump on anybody else's struggle. It's time to stop all of that.
Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome for the first time. Today's episode, I got a special guest with me, Tay Day. If you watch the channel, you know who he is. He's back today, and we're going to be talking about, unfortunately, Cyrus Carmack Belton. We're going to be talking about a young black brother that was harassed in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Yeah, we're going to get into that. And we're going to be talking about Myron Gaines. Yeah, so if you rock with it, let's get into it. Welcome back to the show, brother. How you been?
I've been all right. How about yourself, my brother?
You know, just trying to survive like the rest of us black folk. It's getting harder and harder out here. But I ain't got to tell you, you black, you get it. Anyway, all right. So first thing first, we gonna talk about the Cyrus Carmack Belton situation, that case. It's been going on. It's been in the news for a minute, so I'm pretty sure most people watching this already know about it. But I'm gonna play this clip, one of the short clips of his mother, and she was getting pretty emotional, like any parent would after losing a child. So let's get into this right quick.
And I think the entire family should be held accountable because it was racially profiled. And I do not think that it is right, and they all should be punished. And if I don't know what laws that we need to create to help our people, but it needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. Cyrus should not be gone. None of our children should be gone from the acts of racism, from profiling, from any of that. He should be here.
Now that was to be expected. I feel for her. I feel for both parents. I know you kind of talked a little bit before we hopped on about saying they were a little too calm for your taste. So go ahead and jump into that. Why you felt that way?
If that was my child, well, I feel like it was too calm because they holding the press conference. If that was my child, there would be no God. There will be no law enforcement agency. There will be nothing to stop me from exacting revenge in the way I see fit. Period. End of statement. If they looking for peace, if they looking for any type of forgiveness, they wouldn't see it. Forgiveness is in the Bible, and I am not. My name isn't written down in that book one time. It ain't in the Quran. It ain't in the Torah. It ain't in nothing. No holy book. My name isn't in it. There is no forgiveness. That boy was 14 years old.
I think, go ahead.
No, that boy was 14 years old. He hasn't even begun to see what life truly is. You know what I'm saying? So if it was me personally, as a parent too, I'm speaking as a parent. That's why I got on my Papa Bear hat. I'm telling you, it's a little too calm. It's a little too wanting justice. Forget the justice system. We never get it. Sometimes, in some cases, we have to take it into our own hand. And that's all I have to say about that. Like, I'm fed up at this point. How many more press conferences? How many times are we going to ask people for justice? It's time to stop asking, and it's time to start taking.
Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of people share that sentiment. A lot of people are just really getting fed up with this shit. And, you know, I hear it every day. You hear it every day. And look, man, a lot of people are already on board with that. I'm already hearing rumblings throughout the community. You know, some things that I'm not going to say because I'm not going to advertise or broadcast all that on the internet. But, you know, I do get a sense that a tide is changing, like a change is coming in terms of black people are already not standing up and tolerating this shit no more. You know, now the arguments where people were saying, you know, he had a gun or whatever and whatnot. And, you know, they'd try to make the case about, well, what was a 14-year-old doing having a gun? And it's like, okay, I can understand that. But at the same time, did he shoot at y'all? You accused him of stealing. There's no evidence of that. Did he point the weapon at y'all? You say that. I didn't see any video of it. Did you? I mean, if it's out there, I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
I must have missed it. But the fact that you could take a life and then be let off the hook. Truth be told, I'm be honest, man. A lot of this stuff, the same thing that I think is about to play out with the Carmelo Anthony situation down in Texas. I think they're trying to get like some type of shock value out of these things because they really do want us all out in the streets. They really do want a reason for martial law. They want a reason to crack down and say, oh, you know, we not doing elections because everybody going crazy, or we not doing X, Y, and Z because it's a civil war. This is really what I'm seeing. That's what I'm kind of getting a sense of, because of course you're not gonna convict this man who clearly murdered this young kid, running away, mind you, running away. Because look, we both own firearms. What they tell us, you can't really shoot nobody in the back. Now, why is it okay? Why is certain people being able to get away with it? Police officers seem to be getting away with shooting black people in the back and not going to prison. And this Asian motherfucker shot this young man in the back, running away. I like, that's how you know it's a two-tier justice system. That's how you know the justice system full of shit. Justice system is completely full of shit.
It's full of shit, and this should I'm trying to find a differentiating way of calling us a American, but not connecting it to the continent. And this is just my personal thoughts and my personal thoughts alone. What we need to start to realize that us as black, the only thing I have is black for the moment, but black Americans, and this excludes Africans, any Afro connected to anything. This excludes everybody that's not black American. We need to start realizing that we have no allies. None. Not in this country, not one. And we need to realize that quick, fast, and in a hurry. We have no time. There's no time left to be trying to have a coalition of minorities. There is no time for us to jump on anybody else's struggle. It's time to stop all of that. At any FBA, I guess, whoever started the Foundation of Black Americans movement, I guess that's the best we have to describe ourselves, but we have to disconnect from every other group and just look inwards and worry about us and let the world do what they want to. While we not out, they saying that, it's a lot of people that saying that we should be protesting these ICE raids and all that. No, fuck all that. People voted for the person that's in office so they can terrorize their own people. I'm over being a part of any group that is not black Americans first, period. And we all need to get on board with that. Cause as you can see, no matter what happens, we have no ally. None. They don't like us. They don't care about us. I still don't know what we did to everybody. Maybe when they was younger, we talked about them and made them feel bad, but that is not a reason to hate them.
No, they hate us because we too nice. They hate us because we're not evil. We don't plot destruction. We don't try to destroy other groups of people. We don't try to take over people's continents. We don't try to genocide groups of people. We don't try to go and steal other people's resources. They hate us because we're too nice. You ever wondered why is it that like a lot of the Asian community look up to white folks so much? And it's like, you do know that they dropped 2 atomic bombs in Japan. Now I get it. They have their own, China don't like Japan, and North Korea, South Korea conflict, and the Philippines got a beef with China, and Vietnam is borderline so 50-50 on China. Like, I get that they have their own internal politics. I get it. Kind of like in our own community between black folks versus the N-words. Like, there's a difference. People from the outside can't see the difference, but you got to be in the know to know that there's a difference. So I get all that from one aspect, but at the same time, it was the white folks that did that to y'all, and y'all still idolize them. Y'all still damn near worship them. You come to this country trying to get close to them because they represent what? Power. So you want your proximity to be to power, not understanding that they look at you the same way they look at us. They probably give you just a smidge of preferential treatment because you lighter than us. But in all reality, why you think you in our neighborhood? Because they don't want you in theirs. And then because what I just said, it all falls back into place about us being too nice. We allow y'all to be a part of our communities, sell shit in our communities, and in turn, we turn around and provide you generational wealth while you look down upon us. Why you can't stand us. The same vitriol you have for us is the same vitriol that they have for you. Because truth be told, they don't want none of us over here. They don't want none of us here, even though they didn't build the land. They didn't build the country, and they don't want us here. See, FBAs, foundational Black Americans, we here. Who you gonna deport us to? Y'all was so stupid. Y'all didn't even keep records of where y'all was stealing the people from. Y'all kept records of other shit, but you didn't keep records, because, not to go on too far into this, but some of us were already here. That's been told to me for years. And now I'm actually believing that. I'm believing that a lot of us were already here. This whole boat story, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying I don't believe that, but I am starting to believe that a lot of black folk was already here. And I know a lot of black folks was already here because I heard some quote unquote Native Americans talking about how they've been trading with the Africans early as the 12th, 13th century. So, I know Africans have been coming back and forth to this continent, and not once did they ever try to colonize and take over their shit. Not once. So, there's one common denominator here, and we know what that is. But in this particular situation, that same common denominator is the one that is protecting people like Rick Chow, or whatever the fuck his name is. It's white people. They're the ones protecting them, and you're gonna see that. I'm gonna show a video of that right now. They're the ones protecting Rick Chow. This is his store.
Oh, hell no.
All them police.
I hope she got that. Okay. We still gonna burn the store down. It's really.
So they still gonna burn the store down. All of them police officers are protecting his store because they're fearing retaliation. This is, again, goes back to what I'm saying. It's like they know what they're doing. It's like they're trying to antagonize us. It's like, just keep poking. Just keep poking. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts? I talk.
Nah, old girl said it the best. We still gonna burn that motherfucker down. It still don't matter. That should be the only thought process. Okay, we might not be able to get you today, but you gonna have to leave here because there's no community you're going to be safe. We will find you. We will get you. That's what the fear needs to be. No matter where you leave, no matter where you go in this country, you will have no peace. Then your next step is that you have to leave. You have to go back to where you're from. That should be the next step. There should be no more Mr. Nice Guy. No, you should fear for your life as long as you in this country. Your family should. Your brothers should. Your sisters should.
You just specifying for this in particular individual in particular, not all Asians, right?
Yeah, no, no, I'm not a racist asshole. Just this person. Just this person and his whole, not just him and his whole entire lineage, anybody that's connected to him, that's related, they kids, they wives, their sons, their cousin, they should all be scared, all of them, and none of them should have peace. None of them. The thing is,
well, let's play. Go ahead.
No, because you're about to play devil's advocate. I want to know.
Yeah, I say let's play devil's advocate for a second. And I'm only doing this because we don't have an opposing view on the show. I'm saying you say his whole entire lineage should pay the cost, pay the brunt of his actions, and it's like, what if someone turned that around and one of your family members did something stupid to another person or another group of people, or a person in a particular group, and they feel the same way you feel today, where it's like, well, it wasn't you, but it was one of your close family members.
Me, and the way that I think, if something like that was to happen, I would expect it. So I would never be in peace. I will always expect the shooting. I'll be like, nah, they coming for everybody. Because depending on how heinous it was, depending on how heinous it was, if I don't get you, I'm going to get to you. I'm going to get somebody getting got. Because there's no, a 14-year-old boy running away, getting shot in his back. Imagine if he was white.
Yeah.
The type of outrage and the things that would happen. Imagine if he was Asian. The outrage that happened. Imagine if he was anything else but black. Anything else.
Yeah, he would have been convicted.
That's all I'm getting at. Him or none of his family should have a moment in peace while they stay in this country. They should be making moving arrangements to go back to wherever they came from. And no, I'm not saying it like those, the MAGA idiots who be like, go back to your country. No, I'm not saying it like that, but I'm saying it in a way, if they won't give us retribution, we should put the fear of God in him to where he has no choice but to go home. I don't care how many generations he has raised over here. We need to get past that point of being nice. I know that we have a certain connection to the divine as people with darker skin, more so than a lot of other people. We need to stop playing nice.
Yeah.
Just like when, the last presidential election, when it was a lady from Dearborn that said, if you vote for Kamala, don't expect to be welcome in my community. I have not spent $1 in Dearborn since that lady said I haven't been back to Dearborn.
Yeah.
And I'm standing on. For as long as I live, I won't spend $1 in Dearborn.
Same here. All right, well, I'm gonna play this clip of a young woman talking about Rick Child's history. This isn't his first rodeo, apparently.
This was his third shooting. The jury didn't get to know that, but I'm going to make sure that you know about the 2 previous shootings before Rick Chow was found not guilty for taking the life of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton. 2015, a woman stole beer and peanuts. Chow says that she then threatened his life and then she got in a vehicle, so he shot at that vehicle 6 times. Now, thank goodness no one was hurt, but Chow was not charged. Investigators called it self-defense. The second time was in 2018. A man stole oven cleaner. Chow says that that man then assaulted him, so he shot him twice. No charges. Self-defense. The man who stole the oven cleaner, though, he was charged in connection with that case. And then we get to 2023. That's when 14-year-old Cyrus went into a convenience store owned by Rick Chow. Chow said that he stole water. Surveillance video showed that he did not. Cyrus ran from that store, and he ran so hard during the 130-yard chase where Rick Chow was chasing him with a weapon and with his son. Cyrus, this child, ran so fast that he ran out of one of his shoes and his belongings fell out of his pocket, including a weapon, and then he was shot in the back as he was running away. Chow and his son said that Cyrus pointed that weapon at them and that's why Chow fired, but they're the only people who say that. The other witnesses say they never saw anything in Cyrus's hand. And according to the prosecution's experts, Cyrus was shot in the back while he was running away. So how would he have been pointing a weapon that was on the ground that had fallen out of his pocket as he ran for his life? And a lot of people want to say, well, a 14-year-old had a weapon. That's the end of the story. Not guilty for Chow. Having a weapon, no matter what age, does not automatically mean someone gets to take your life. Is it a-okay hunky-dory that a 14-year-old had a weapon? No, but that is not the end of this case. I personally do not believe that he was pointing it at Chow or his son. I believe the witnesses that were there that didn't have a relative on the line for going to prison for this. Other people want to say, well, he may have put the water down, but he planned to steal. Planning to steal or even stealing should not be a death sentence. If he stole a bottle of water, which he did not, but even if he did, call the police. Put up a sign that says this kid stole a bottle of water, a basic necessity of life, and he's no longer allowed in this store. If a woman steals beer and peanuts, call the police. Put up a sign that says this woman stole beer and peanuts, she's not allowed in this store. If a man steals oven cleaner, put up a sign, call the police. None of those things should be death sentences. And the fact that people are online saying, well, he intended to steal, well, he had a weapon. You think that means a 14-year-old child should have died? I hope you'll really think about that. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows about the 2 previous shootings. The jury did not, and I have to wonder if that would have changed their opinion. But of course, since they were self-defense and Chow wasn't charged, of course the jury didn't know about it. I wonder what they'll think about it when they find out. Rest in peace to Cyrus Carmack Belton. Let me know if anything in this video changed your perspective at all.
So, South Carolina had some kind of law to where his previous incidents that she just reported on couldn't be revealed in court, apparently, because I guess the prosecutors and everybody else thought that that would maybe taint the jury pool. But in reality, he has a history of this type of behavior, which I think needs to be noted, because I can almost guarantee you if a black person has a history of anything, any felony convictions, whether violent or non-violent, they gonna know about it. So why is it that they get to have their crimes or their aggressions swept under the fucking rug? You know, they call us crazy. They call us crazy for pointing out the fact. And I made a TikTok about this the other day. They call us crazy when we point this shit out. They call us fucking crazy. Make us look like, you know, they always say you playing a victim. You playing a victim. All this country ever does is victimize black folk. That's all it ever does. So we're not supposed to call a spade no more, right? We supposed to call a spade a donkey? What the fuck are we doing here? The fact that this man had, you know, I say priors, but they ain't charged him with nothing. So, you know, but he has a history of this type of aggression. And she's right. She's absolutely correct. Stealing something shouldn't amount to a fucking death sentence. That's the shit that kills me. You think that someone walking in your store, if you smart and if you know how to run a business properly, I'm pretty confident all that shit is insured. Even if he did steal the water, and Lord knows he didn't, but even if he was, that's not an excuse to shoot nobody in their fucking back. You know, like I say, at the end of the day, you're gonna reap what you sow. Everybody will. And I'm not gonna feel bad for anything that happens to him or his people for that matter. So what's your take on all that, man?
Agree with you wholeheartedly. And there will be not like I said, I'm done. I don't care about nobody else's plights in it. Nobody. I don't care what's happening. I don't care how much ICE attacks you. I don't care how much, I don't care anymore. Your community, whatever percentage you have, y'all better band together. Black folks, stay out of it. All of it. Everybody shit. Get out of, stay out of. Cause he is a violent man who been looking to kill a nigga for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's, in
Well.
the plan, he got his chance, and I'm mad that he got his chance with such a young kid who had his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah.
And just because he had a gun, it didn't mean that he planned on using it or doing anything nefarious, because it could have just been for protection, maybe because of the neighborhood he was in. But most people wouldn't even understand what I'm saying. They would think, well, he's 14, he shouldn't have it. And I agree, he's 14, he shouldn't have it, but he probably shouldn't be in an environment where he feels like he needs. Nah, it's layered. You got to think about it and think about it critically. Why does he feel like he needs to have one at 14 years old? What type of environment does he, and why is that environment the way that it is? Why is it disenfranchised? All these things have to come into your mind, but they don't think, oh, you just shouldn't have it, so he deserved it. Not guilty. Okay. We'll see.
Well, so, a lot of people are talking about boycotting, which, I'm in agreement with, it's just sad because it's like, damn, it's not all of them, granted, but I'm not the one that's here to make excuses for them, because again, I stand with the black community. I believe that we should all be buying from black businesses anyway, not to go on, but here's my little side tangent about that. My issue with black people, and I'm going to say this, my issue with black people in regards to black business is, okay, you shop with black business, you want to support black business, right? And say the black business that you shopping with, maybe they're not necessarily up to par, right? Maybe they need a little, maybe they could work on whatever, their professionalism or whatever gripe that you may have. Don't stop shopping with black business. Don't stop shopping with them, because you've heard it. You've heard the same shit I've heard throughout the years. Man, this is why I don't be shopping with black people. This is why I don't be supporting black business, because one thing went wrong with you, but you didn't get fucked over at Walmart and Target and all these other big chain stores with white people at the helm, and you still take your black ass back there and support them. I'm not trying to use this to get on black people, but I'm saying in relation to connect the dots of what I was just saying about people wanting to boycott, not supporting them. Okay, I'm rocking with it. But if one thing, or even if something goes wrong with one of ours, don't stop supporting us. Don't stop supporting us so you can just run back and do what you've been doing. That's all I'm trying to get at. Like, you don't necessarily have to shop with whatever black business did you wrong or whatever. Okay, that's one person. That's one individual store. People be taking that and running with it and be like, I'm not supporting black business overall.
Mm-hmm.
That's my issue. Take it as, go ahead.
No, it was a particular wing place that I used to go to. And it was black owned. I would go there. Yeah. I would go there at least once a week and spend $70. All in wings. It's just all in wings.
Support.
And granted, the wings were small. They were more like Amish wings. So they was not the steroid chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I like a lot, because I'm like, well, I know I'm eating something that's probably better than going to a chain like Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop or anything. But the wings were small. And it used to be, some people, they'd give them reviews like, it costs too much money for these wings to be this small. And I'm just like, I don't care. It's a black business. I'ma go anyway. And they was good as hell. I'ma go anyway. Cause you know what? It ain't a lot of places that I can go and buy wings from my people. Every time I go buy wings, the people I buy them from don't look like. At least I'm spending my money. I want my money to at least circulate one time to somebody who looks like me before it goes out anywhere else.
Yep.
And one day I had to go on the same note, I had to go to a beauty supply to get some braiding hair for my daughter. I don't know what I'm doing in the beauty supply. So I'm asking questions, and I had to do, and they didn't have the hair, specific hair I was looking for. So I had to go to another one, and then they had it and I bought it, and I get up to the counter. It's just me in there. There's nobody there. This lady sat there. It was an Asian woman, sat there, took her time eating her food and staring at her phone while I'm standing at the register. I'm standing there for 2 minutes before she made a move to come cash me out. I almost said, fuck you and keep this here. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Cause I found that very disrespectful. Like, I'm patronizing your business, and black people need to stop acting like black business is the only business that disrespects you. It is not. And y'all know better than that. Y'all know better than that to say that out your mouth when you go places and you experience the same kind of service everywhere else, but you feel more comfortable because you have a European mind and you want to get as close proximity to white.
Yep.
Y'all get on my
biggest issue, man. That's my biggest issue with that. Like we we can support each other. We can and understand that we just have to stop looking at each other as the enemy. Like a lot of people will disagree with what we're saying here. But in all reality, it's like they have tried to program us for decades, centuries even, about hating each other. And it's all about that divide and conquer shit. The same thing they're doing right now, which, the rich people are getting richer, fucking us over. But shit like this keeps happening. Rick Chow. I know this happened back in 2023, but this type of shit and that they use to try to play on our psyche to try to distract from all the robbery that they're doing, fucking us over, stealing all the money. And I get it. That's the bigger picture. But right now we focusing on this, and it's like, yeah, man, people do need to start boycotting these businesses, especially if you feel like you're being disrespected. That same thing that you talk about, I've experienced that multiple times going to, different Chinese restaurants and whatever around here. And it's just be like, you see me standing here. And one time I caught it. Like, I could see the difference. I see how it is when I come in there one time before you took your sweet time coming to take my order. But then when a white customer came in, you was on the phone. You put whatever phone call you had on hold immediately to take their order. And like I said, it's a mindset. That's who they view. That's who they look up to. That's who they damn near worship. And they look down upon us because they think that's what the white people want, which a lot of them do. But it's like, you ain't them, and they ain't never gonna see you as them. But anyway, I'm gonna play this video talking about the boycott.
Black people boycott their businesses. Boycott all their businesses. We just watched two grown men run after a 14-year-old boy 130 yards and shoot him in the back. And the only way that they could possibly explain that is that he might have been slightly turned around when they shot him while also holding a gun, right? And he shot two other people, so he was already trigger happy, and this wasn't his first rodeo. A large portion of the wealth in the Asian American group was also given to them by Black Americans by doing business with. This is why primarily the large portion of their businesses is in solely Black neighborhoods. And like always, we shared our community with them. Black people, we are the only group of people in America that says do not shop with your own people. We are the only group in America that says do not put it together with your own people. And if you think that was put in place simply by Black people, then you're sadly mistaken, because that was set up by design. Even when these other groups of people are absolutely in the wrong, they shop with their people, they do business with their people, they uplift their people, they talk to their business people, and they give their people business advice for their people to do better financially. If you can share business advice, if you can partner up with, if you can spend your money with, do so. And we can criticize each other, we can uplift each other, we can give hard love to each other, but do business with your people and make it extremely clear why.
Yeah, he touched on a lot of what I was already saying. I didn't even watch that video all the way through. I watched like the first 15 seconds of it, and I'm like, okay, cool, we could talk about this. But I mean, I'm on board with it. Yeah, would it be difficult for certain Black folks? Sure, but who you riding with? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they really looking at us like this, and look, that's the difficult part, because I have seen some videos where some Asian brothers and sisters have come out, appalled by the decision, to acquit him, and to, they upset themselves because they're smart. because they are worried about this particular backlash. You see, when shit like that happen, especially if you've been in America a long time, you tend to know, like, hey man, look, don't you go out there. It's like, okay, perfect example. It's like if you see something on the news talking about this person committed a crime or did a shooting, you sit up there hoping that they ain't black. Other races do the same exact shit. They like, oh God, don't let it be one of us. Because you already know how it works here. It's like, if it's one of y'all, if it's one of us, we gonna get crucified no matter. I mean, shit, it ain't gotta be one of us. We still catch strays. We still get crucified with the racist talking points. Oh, 1350, which is some bullshit. But every time it's one specific person from a specific group, you can catch hell. And it's only like that here in this country because you have multiple ethnicities of people or races of people, whatever. So they smart. They understand. Fuck, everybody gonna see this asshole, and they probably don't like this motherfucker anyway. It's like, now they gonna take that shit out on us. We got businesses. People gonna be, in their feelings as they should be. People be upset as they should be. And, but I will say, yeah, it is kind of unfair to be trying to go in somebody else's store and fuck up their shit because of what some other motherfucker did. You know what I'm saying? But I get the sentiment. I get it because people are already on the edge. They like, no, we got to prove a point. Some lessons have to be taught, and that's the thing. The lines between right and wrong are going to get blurred like a motherfucker. They're going to get blurred because people are operating based off of emotion. And you can't blame somebody from acting off of emotion. Don't give me this whole being an adult and being responsible, all that. No, be a human being. Humans have emotion. People getting sick of this shit. Because if you got children, you may think, shit, that could probably be my kid one day. It's how people think. That's how humans think. But anyway, I'll give you the last word before we move on to another topic.
No, I agree. I agree with everything you said. When enough is enough, that's when shit go awry. And I think that our community in particular is like, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough with all of it.
Yeah.
This ain't popping like that no more. And it should be that way. It absolutely should. And I hope that in the near future, preferably sometime in the next coming weeks, even though that's unrealistic, I hope that we start linking up and working with each other, trying to build our communities, build our own stores, build our own gas stations, build our own convenience stores, clothing stores, anything of that nature, and work together and spend money with us and keep it in our community so we can stop enriching everybody else. We need to start in any place that we go to. We need to start seeing who owns the building. We need to start figuring these things out so we know what to boycott, what to get closed. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I mean, that's that's the right way to look at it in terms of, follow the money, as they say, follow the money. And it's not hard to research these type of things to see who owns what building, or, because a lot of these businesses, they're leasing the property, so they got to pay rent and all of that. But I mean, yeah, I agree. We need to be a little more diligent and more aware and very sensible. We need to be more sensible about exactly where our black dollars are going and how can we get them to not only circulate, but remain in our own community. And it's difficult because, oh man, this whole fucking system, they set up everything, all of the influences between, they use our music against us, they use our entertainment against us, they use their laws against us, the judicial justice system, judicial system is against us, and yet they complain and bitch when we say something and just quick to call us the victim. Yeah, we have a victim mindset, a victim mentality. And the sad part is I see, I almost said it. I see raccoon brother and sister. Not ain't brothers and sisters, raccoons. I refuse to give them the title of brother and sister. If we can have a difference in opinion, damn it. But no, if you're not able to recognize the fuckery that they own, because you may have been able to prosper in this system. You the exception, not the rule. That's where a lot of people get this shit fucked up. You think because you got your money and that you moved up, oh, anybody can do it. That's not true. They might have just liked you. Oh, you're one of the good, like we said before, you wanted a good one.
You wanted a good one. And that'll get you, man. That'll get you put in some rooms that you never thought, just being one of the good ones. And if you're not smart enough to catch what the fuck they saying, you will go along with it. Yeah, I'm in this room with these kind of people. But how do they really view you?
Exactly.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, this a good nigga right here. He's gonna come along and play ball, or she's gonna come along and play ball and not cause any problem. She sees the world she sees the world the same way we see the world.
Right.
It takes time for them to recognize it, but a lot of the raccoons are coming out and saying like, hey man, like I'm starting to notice this shit that people be talking about. And when I'm in these rooms, I don't even feel like myself. A lot of the raccoons are saying, like, describing what it's like to be one of the good ones.
And I ain't gonna feel sorry for none of them motherfuckers either. I'm not gonna feel sorry for nothing that happened to you when you want to align yourself and associate with that shit, as opposed to standing with your people because they offered you some money. Shit, me and you, we can go out here and become conservative tomorrow and get paid by Sunday. It's that easy. Yeah, we have to turn on our community. Yeah, we have to, forsake our dignity and our souls, but hell, we can get paid. It's easy to make that switch. Well, no, it's easy to make that switch if you a bitch ass motherfucker. Let me say it that way.
No, I agree. But all right, we talking money. How much money? I'm bullshit.
Oh my
I'm bullshit. I'm bullshit.
Oh my Jesus. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do that, man. Cause again, you say you either stand for something or you fall for anything. You say, if you throwing 100 mil at me, I'm gonna let that fall into my lap.
Cause I gotta think about the future. I gotta think about future generations and shit. It's like, hey, look, hey.
Oh my God. He'll turn raccoon in a minute.
Well, my disclaimer before every episode is like, I don't believe none of this shit I'm talking about. You gotta pay me, boy. No, I'm just being silly. I don't believe that shit. I wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying, just on some funny shit. The light.
I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, cause I am couldn't even pay attention to this case like I wanted to because I was so upset.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm tired of having these conversations, and I'm tired of seeing us get treated unfairly, and all we do is protest and march. It is not doing anything for us.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing. So I'm getting that, man. It's time we start. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, well, we're gonna move on. Rest in peace, Cyrus. Rest in peace, brother.
Rest up.
It's sad that this happened. It really is. And I hate to say that I've almost become desensitized to this shit, unfortunately. It's not that I don't care. Of course I fucking care. Because again, it could be any of our kids. It's just, it happens so much, And then I'm gonna bring this up before I move on, just to say this last part. For you racist motherfuckers that get to talking shit on the internet, because y'all always try to make little slick comments talking about, I thought Black Lives Matter. You black people kill each other all the time and all that fuck shit, all that stupid shit that y'all always like to say. You know who kills the most white people? White people. That's a fact. Except y'all not only killing other white people, you kidnapping them and molesting them and torturing them and doing all types of sick, vile shit, because when you look up bestiality cases, who you see? I'm not using that as a scapegoat to say or to not address the issues that we have in our community, because I'm never even going to utter the word black on black crime. I'm only saying it for the sake of what I'm saying, but you're never going to hear me say that shit ever again. Crime is crime, right? Crime happens where you in proximity to. This young brother went shopping in this store. Who was he in proximity to? That Asian motherfucker. Crime happens. Now, all the people that want to be separate but equal, we need to go back to being segregated. A lot of people are starting to feel that way. Because a lot of us young generation, our millennials, and we starting to question, like, what the fuck was y'all thinking? The fuck was y'all thinking trying to unify and not stay segregated? I mean, I get it in terms of the government programs and wanting to be seen as equal in the country. I get that aspect of it. But in terms of on a social level, yeah, we all live in the same country, but we don't have the same culture. It's many cultures in America, many different cultures. Hell, look at the states. The 50 states are almost like 50 different countries in and of itself. It's not the same in New York as it is in Georgia or Florida and Michigan or California and fucking Montana. It's not the same. Different cultures, you know? So to try to address the fact, you know, I know I kind of went all over the place. I know I kind of took it a little further than I wanted to, but trying to address the issue of our issues in our community, don't worry about it. We've been working on it. We've been trying to address that. And the part y'all don't see, because, you know, people like to make those comments that are not in our community. So it's like you commenting from the outside, but you ain't there. So you just talking shit. You ain't actually there. So you don't understand that when Black families lose loved ones to gun violence, you're not there to really see those reactions. You just there to judge the statistics. You just there to judge the fact that it happened. So you can point to it, see black on black crime, but you're not there because you feel no empathy. You feel no compassion. Hell, y'all don't feel empathy and compassion towards each other. So I don't expect you to understand. I just expect you to sit there and be a little bitch and talk shit online, because that's where your strength comes from. Because Lord knows you're not gonna talk the way you talk in front of us, or unless you're gonna pull some Chud the Builder type shit, talk shit because you know you got a strap on your hip or a blade in your bag, or you got 100 fucking biker white boys with you. It's the only time you feel tough.
You know what's
crazy?
crazy?
The microphone is powerful. Yeah.
Very.
What's up?
You know what's crazy? One of the most popular racist people in the last decade, his final words were, "What about gang violence?"
Oh, yeah.
Pow! Ain't no gang do that, my baby.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's ironic, isn't it?
Trust me, it was the first time in my life where I knew, I was like, oh, God is a funny motherfucker. He a funny motherfucker. That was hilarious. And if you think I'm being morbid about what I just said, I don't care. It was funny. Well, because he didn't say black on black crime. He disguised, what about gang violence?
Yeah.
And he was talking about primarily black and brown people. Combined.
Yeah.
And we don't even know if the dude who shot him, or if it was the white and blue flag. We still don't.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
hey man, that's all I'm saying.
It ain't our fight, man. It ain't our fight. It ain't our cause. You know, fuck it. Like that ain't our mystery to solve. It's not. It's not our mystery to solve. I didn't say fuck Charlie Kirk. I'm saying it ain't our problem. So fuck it. The same way that issues in our community, it ain't y'all problem. So mind your fucking business. Yep. That's simple. It ain't our issue. It wasn't us that did it. Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah. So anyway, we gonna keep it moving. We gonna stay on this. This was an incident that happened earlier this month. I just titled it racial profiling, but it happened in the city of Grosse Pointe, Michigan. And you know, young black brother walking through the neighborhood. Good thing he got it on camera and everything. So we're gonna play this.
Yep.
What's up, man?
You got a problem?
Here, we want to talk.
Okay, talk.
Stop walking away.
Okay, talk.
Stop walking
Okay,
away.
I like my space.
Well, you got to stop, all right?
Okay.
You're under investigation.
Okay, under investigation. Okay.
Stop walking away from
Okay,
me.
okay, you ain't got to get my face, though. You ain't got to get near me like that.
But you don't got to walk away from
Okay,
me.
no, I'm not. Okay, can you give me my space? Damn.
Stop moving.
Okay, what's the problem, bro? What's the problem?
Problem is that people think you need to be checked on. You're welcome.
No, do I? Why? Because I'm black in a suburban neighborhood? Really? That's what?
Is that what I said?
Yeah. That's what. I already know how bad racist Grosse Pointe is. I'm not doing this with y'all. Really? That's profiling. Nah, if you nah, I ain't got no. Nah, if y'all
when
doing
do you
something.
want to listen?
No, I really
when
don't.
When do you want to listen?
No, I don't want to listen because that's profiling. I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid.
You are. Let me
okay. Touch me, you get your ass beat. That's you're profiling me because you said I need to be. I look lost, really, because I'm a black man in a white neighborhood. Really, that's what we doing. Okay, okay, talk.
You know what profiling is? When the police officer approaches you.
No, that's what it is. I look lost. I'm minding my business.
Someone calls.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Yeah.
You're not profiling.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you are.
Sure. Got any ID on you?
Do I have to give you my ID? Because I'm not giving you nothing. How do you know? How would you know I live in this area? Does it look like I need help?
What do you thought you did?
Well, okay, whoever called, you need to charge them because they knew what they were doing. Okay, that's what we doing. Okay. I'm not telling you.
No?
I'm not telling you.
Where you headed?
None of your business.
Okay, you're free to go.
All right then. No, that's profiling. No. I know what's going on. You're sitting there profiling. Get your folks and getting their ass beat. Like you done lost your mind, bro. If you'd have touched me, you would have got your ass beat.
I appreciated everything he said to them. I appreciate exactly how he responded to them. If you just walking through the neighborhood, minding your own damn business, which it clearly looked like what he was doing. I mean, it's broad daylight. What the fuck do you think he's trying to do in broad fucking daylight? Like he ain't gonna be noticed? I'm glad he said everything he said, man. I'm gonna let you get your words in, man. I don't even want to take the spotlight.
Well, he handled it the way he was supposed to handle it. And to be truthful, I have never been in Grosse Pointe. Me personally, I haven't. And I didn't even know they was cutting like that.
I've been to Grosse Pointe, but it's more so, well, let me put it this way. I ride through Grosse Pointe from time to time, usually when I'm going down to Belle Isle.
Okay.
But I take the long way. I go on down there. But I've had to park there. I have to park in Grosse Pointe a few times because of, whatever event we was going to that was there. I never necessarily bumped into those issues, but to be fair, I also never walked through their neighborhoods too. But it makes sense. If you ride through Grosse Pointe and you look around at Grosse Pointe, you can kind of see that happening. I'm surprised there ain't more videos of this shit. That's why I'm glad the young brother was recording. And I think the only reason they didn't really take it too far is because they knew he had his phone out and they knew he was probably recording. And then, the officers did call him stupid. It's like, oh, so I'm stupid. I'm stupid because I'm walking through the neighborhood. That's why I'm stupid.
No,
it's like, go ahead.
No, he called him stupid because he didn't capitulate to the order. You're stupid. You're not bowing down to my authority that I feel like I have over you. That's why you're stupid. And I would have did the same way because it's like, so somebody called and said I was a problem. I'm doing something or I need to be checked on. Cause that's what he said. He needs to be checked on. What do I need to be checked on? Because how do you what does he look like? Describe him. Only thing they had to say was black. It's the only thing they really had to say. Yep. And if anybody who doesn't know knows that, the police are in existence not to protect the law. Their first job was to catch slaves. If you don't know that, you are crazy. Yeah. That is what the police started as. And then when we were no longer property, they were trying to figure out ways to put us back in bondage.
Yeah.
So they created laws. Well, you can't loiter. You can't all these little bullshit ass laws. It was to put your ass back in chains and doing the work for free.
Yep.
But then we gotta talk about the prison system. You know how this shit could just go on and on and on.
Yeah, it can yeah.
But it's such I never thought as a child that the world would go backwards this much.
Yeah.
I'm going towards 40 years old and I feel like I'm living in this space that my great aunt and great uncle grew up in. And it's confusing because I was always taught that the world gets better as it goes, but it seems like it's only getting worse, especially in this country.
Yeah.
Who's the governor? Who's the Indian guy who was actually born here, who was running for governor of Ohio, I think.
Oh, Vivek Ramaswamy, however the hell you pronounce his last name.
He's running for governor, and everybody that is people, are calling for him to go back to his country, but this is his country. They trying to denaturalize birthright citizenship.
Yeah.
It's so much BS happening that you just look around and when power get challenged, power gets scared.
Yeah. That's the only way white supremacy, so-called supremacy, flourishes, without pushback. Because when you start pushing back and fighting back, you get to see how weak and fragile it really is. And it would have been over a long time ago had it not been for the gun. It's nothing supreme about you. Never has been. But anyway, I'm not going to go on that whole tirade because I'm going to end up saying some shit to get me deplatformed off YouTube. But, I can't really say exactly how I really feel on these type of things. That's why when my channel get big enough, then yeah, I'll have a Patreon so you can hear exactly how the fuck I really feel about shit. And then you'd be like, oh, I know you was, yeah, that's how it is. But you got to pay for that.
What'd you say? You got to pay for those folks.
No, because that shit is, it could be possibly inflammatory and shit, no, fuck that. You're going to pay for that. And I ain't just giving that out for free, only if you know me personally. But other than that, no. But I'm glad the brother handled it the way he did. And I'm also glad they didn't overreact, because he did say, if you touch me, I'm going to beat y'all ass, and those, you say that to the wrong cop, they going to take that shit as a challenge. Like, oh, for real? Yeah. The law's on my side no matter what I do. So I'm gonna fuck you, that's their mind. I'm gonna fuck you up no matter what, and then if you want to assault a police officer, because they be like, if I touch you, because this is how they mind think, man. If you touch me, I'm beating your ass. That's what you said. It's okay. So you under arrest. So I gotta touch you. So if you swing, now you just committed assault on an officer. This is how they use that shit. But it's like, why am I under arrest? I didn't do shit. I didn't break no law. Didn't commit no crime. And you up here harassing me racially. Profiling, which should be against the law, but with this racist ass Supreme Court, you don't know what the fuck's against the law no more. So this is so-called white supremacy's last gasp. They realize they're in their final hour. They realize that your so-called supremacy, your numbers, all that shit's coming to an end. So the way they see it, they want to burn this bitch down on their way out the door. That's how they see it. They say, no, we can't give you prosperity, even though black people built the foundation of this country. Even though you built it, you don't get to partake in the wealth. We taking the wealth with it. That's how, I'm telling you, that's how this shit's going. And then they trying to do everything they can to save it, but it's not going to last. Nothing fucking lasts. You're going to become the minority at some point. And then, if your people, your descendants have to pay for the shit y'all have done, so be it. That's what it is. I don't want to hear any arguments about what's right or what's wrong or what's fair or what's not. I often ask that question. Was it fair to my ancestors? Was it fair to my ancestors to be enslaved? Was it fair to them? Don't act like their opinions don't matter because they're dead. They're no longer here. Their opinions, their feelings, all of that mattered. It mattered in real time. It just didn't matter to y'all. See, that's the little trick. White people good at playing the victim. How the fuck are you supreme and the victim at the same fucking time? Can't be both. White people don't feel like they should have to fucking pay reparations. Why? Well, you was never a slave and I never owned any slaves. It's not about that. It's not about that. All the people that own slaves, yeah, they dead and gone. Yeah, they are. You think you shouldn't have to pay for that? Why should I have to pay for it? Well, I'll tell you why. Black people, we didn't put none of them Japanese people in internment camps during the World War II. They got reparations still. There were black people living in the country, and I'm pretty sure black people's tax dollars went and paid for that. But black people didn't do that. See what I'm saying? They don't like to think, they don't like to talk facts. They don't like to talk reality or use common sense for that matter. So, are we owed reparations? Hell yeah. I know we kind of took a little swing left, but it's all connected. It's all connected. We owe reparations. We are. Oh, but you was never a slave. It don't matter. My people endured Jim Crow. Hell, I've been discriminated against by white people. I'm 39 years old. I've seen it. I've dealt with it. You don't think I face racism? And I'm on the lighter side. And I face racism. I can't imagine what people darker than me done went through. So no, I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Again, I know we talk about the brother in Grosse Pointe, but again, all of this shit is connected. These are all problems that black people have to constantly go through. I'm not gonna say your daughter's name, but you told me you named your daughter a white sounding name so she could have a better chance when she gets older.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah. Just so, cause my real first name, soon as you hear it, I'm black. So
same with me.
Yeah. Soon as you hear it, I can't get it. He was like, oh yeah, that's a nigga. That's a nigga.
Exactly. You can't hide from it.
Yeah. So I was like, well, let me do this like this. I gave her middle name is actually what I wanted her first name to be.
Okay.
But I was just like, how can I circumvent this and still get what I want in the process?
Mm-hmm.
And still, when you see her name anywhere, you will give her a fair shake because you don't know.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're right. You again, I know her name. I'm not gonna say it, but seeing that name on an application, you would think,
yeah,
you would. That's all I'm gonna say.
And both of the names, it was only the choice between two first names, and both of them was the white sounding first name.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, well, that's how we gonna rock. But the thing is about the discrimination, yeah, I could go in certain stores and I probably make more than everybody in there besides the person who's the manager or the general manager of the store. I probably make more money than everybody.
You probably make more than the manager, bro. I'm just going to call it what it is. You probably don't make more than the motherfucker that own the motherfucker, but you probably make more than the manager.
But they treat me as if I'm not in there to spend money. Like, no, I'm in here to spend money. Like, come help.
Right.
Cause I'm telling you, it has been a few times I went to some stores and I didn't like how they was acting. I have left everything I had right there and just left. Like, well, I'll just go somewhere else. It might take me longer to get. I'll get it.
You ain't wrong for that. Like, you want my money, I want respect. So you even trade.
That's
The hell? All right. Well, we're gonna move on to this last topic, this last one, and this video is it's a little on the longer side. It's probably like 4 minutes, but it's of Myron Gaines. I don't have anything nice to say about him, but anyway, I'm gonna play this clip.
Myron, listen,
citizenship.
you're not white.
Sorry.
We don't need you talking to white women, trying to interact with them at all.
And that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. I don't need to be white to give a. See, here's the thing. You're behaving like a black person now. You're temping out. You're literally behaving like a white person. You are behaving like a black person. So here's the difference. See, here's the funny part.
Not your women, Myron.
When I criticize black people, they'll sit there and say stupid shit like you're saying. You're not black, so you can't criticize us. You're doing the same chip out shit right now. Because I don't have to be. I don't. See, here's the thing. Hey, Bo.
Look, he said they're grifting. You're grifting. He said, like, no, the black people are right. They're right. You're not black. You're grifting. Oh man. I'm gonna let it play, but that just caught me. Like, damn. All right.
The age of 47, relax.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Age of 47, relax.
No.
Here's the thing. I don't have to be white to be able to identify white problems as to why you guys have the problems that you guys have. Clearly, you don't have the platform or the ability to tell these women to get back in the fucking kitchen. So guess what? Now I got to do it for you because you don't have the platform to do it. So the reality is that, look, man, you can do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say. You can be a white nationalist. Cool. I actually fight and defend for your ability to do so. But if we're going to have this discussion about white replacement, etc., well, who controls and who are the gatekeepers of sex? It is the woman. So stop complaining. Stop crying because you sound like a fucking black right now. Let's be honest. You have a victim mindset. Stop being a pussy.
That shit right there. I'm gonna play the rest of the shit. But why is it that he keep trying to drag black folks into this shit? He's talking to a white nationalist right now, and because he's trying to pander to white people so fucking hard that you got to drag us into your shit because we don't respect you, we don't fuck. I don't got nothing nice to say about this. He not even a man in my opinion. He not a man. I don't know what the fuck he is,
bro. I'm gonna tell you how I know he not a real man. He had a girl, I don't know a lot about him, but he had a girl who he talked about was this, and that. That girl, he lost his bitch to a nigga that rollerblade. I can't never listen to a nigga who loses bitch to a nigga that rollerblade. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to find a more intelligent way to say it, but I can't. I just gotta keep it. I gotta keep it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hold on, wait. What Riley said, he was like, I could see if you lost your bitch to T.I. T.I. a real nigga. You lost her to Usher. Couldn't get me. You get what I'm saying though? You lost your girl that you did all this whooping about, and she's everything all you other women aren't. She ain't like you black women. She listens, she cooks, she clean, she lets me lead. Yeah. Maybe you don't have the qualifications. You might have money, and I won't take that away from you, but that doesn't make you a leader.
Absolutely.
How is your emotional intelligence, sir?
Yeah.
What is your level of empathy?
Yeah.
Is there any softness about you? Cause I know this is a dog eat dog world. And when I say softness, I don't mean being a punk. What I mean, is there a way that you know how to convey your message without being authoritative or being angry?
Right.
Cause I could tell you how I feel and I don't have to change what's going on. Could keep it just like this. This is how I feel. This is how I hope you can understand my feelings. It's a lot of things that go into leadership. And evidently, with all the money you got, it's either you short below the waist or you short above the neck. It might be a combination of both, Mike.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I see that. Ultimately, I just ain't got no respect for him. I mean, like I say, he tries to shit on black people every chance he get. And it's like, you don't know our plight. You ain't never been black. You don't get it. I mean, you get a smidge of, you experience a little bit of racism because you are on the darker side of whatever the fuck he is. I don't know what the hell is he, Iranian, Palestinian? I don't know what the fuck he is.
No. His people are, I'm trying to remember the name of the country, but his people are from a country. But I always say that it's a couple of countries in Africa that have a heavy Arab population, but they could claim Africa because it's on the continent, and they always claim that they African in here. Like I said, DNA is the great equalizer. Let's see where you really from.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Yeah. I mean, like I say, I've mentioned this on the show before. Within my family tree, they were able to trace it back to like the 1830s. My heritage and where I come from, going to family reunions and everything. So that was a beautiful thing to see, where it's like, oh, okay. It's crazy because, my whole life people, I won't say my whole life, but early in life, everybody used to say, you ain't black. And it's like, that's insane. Like, yeah, I may be on the lighter side, but all my family black. I am one of the lightest ones in my family, but hey, that don't change nothing. Just like you have, albino and Africa. Like, they black. I mean, shit, they black. They just white, but they black.
No, it just all that is just the melanin didn't completely take over. That's all. They black. They are black.
Yeah, they
It's
got
just
black features and everything. It's just
black features. It's just that they hair didn't even get.
Yeah.
People don't understand how important melanin is, and why do you think it's only people talk about pretty eyes and pretty hair? All of that shit is recessive.
Mm-hmm.
All of it is genetically inferior.
Mm-hmm.
Just like growing up back in the day, we used to hear the niggas with the ponytails and the long hair. Oh, you'll make a cute baby, and all they was thinking about was hair, but they don't understand the connotation of what all of that entails.
Yeah.
Everything that's dominant is dumb.
Yes. Yeah. I love my black hair, even though it's turning a little gray now, but it's okay. I've always loved my black hair. On camera and out of the sunlight, my eyes look, brown or black, but in the light you can really see what color they are, like a hazel brown. Either way, but my dad's eyes are gray, and he's black, man, his eyes are gray, and it's like, damn, but it either way, whatever, that's neither here nor there. But damn, we're hour 22 minutes in. Well, it ain't gonna be an hour and 22 when I edit this shit, but either way, to finish up on Myron, bitch, no, fuck it, what am I hiding for? Fuck you. To finish up on Myron, bitch ass. Like, you shit on black people all the time, bro. A lot of me, a part of me, most of it thinks it's out of jealousy. You can talk all the shit you want about, you can have all your little weak ass talking points that you use against black folks, but the fact is them white people will never fucking accept you. The same people you suck up to. You were just talking to a white nationalist and had to drag us in it. He ain't say shit about us, at least in that particular clip. You brought us up, nigga. Man, I'm sorry. You brought us up, bro. I gotta remember, I don't try to use that word while I'm on the show, but the simple fact is, you and your community, your own people, y'all got your own problems. You don't talk about that. You ain't even black, but you want to point out our problems and talk about our struggle, and you ain't one of us. So, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Nothing you say matters. Just like all these racist people, nothing you say matters. I don't care about your talking points. Don't care about your manufacturer statistics. None of that shit matters. You never spent a day in black skin. You never spent any time in our neighborhoods. You never spent time around. Most of the people making these comments ain't never even been around black folk like that. Don't know the culture. All you know is the stereotypes. You don't know shit. But we know all about y'all.
Yeah, and I will say this, because he had a partner that he used to do a podcast with. I don't know if they still do, but
no, yeah, I know you talking about that. Yeah, I ain't finna mention the name of that shit. Yeah,
but
shit.
But that nigga was so ugly, and they were trying to give men game on how to get women. You need to get your money right and do all of this. Really, if money's the only thing that gets a woman to want to pay attention to you, sir, you gotta know that ain't your.
Absolutely.
And it never will.
Yeah.
If you need accessories to get a woman, boy, you can't get them.
That's true.
But
I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of them are materialistic, but yeah, your point still remains. So I agree.
I was getting girls and I was catching the bus, G. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know that lifestyle from the struggle to get get something for a woman to want to.
Yeah.
If she come up under this tutelage, we can build something great.
Got you.
But no, those niggas are they are just fraudulent fuckers who I think are secretly gay who won't get pegged me. I'll say that again. Red pill space, the way that they're talking points, the way that they operate, they want to have sex with men, and I'm going to stand. I will say that on any platform. I will say that time women are annoying. Yes, they are. We all as men can agree. Men are crazy. Yes, they are. We all as men can agree. I'm not gonna spend no part of my existence bashing a woman because I want.
Exactly. I agree.
And if you feel like you have to do that at any point or bash a people, that means Myron like big me. That's what it means to me.
You know, every what they say, every accusation is a confession.
You feel me? He wants a big black man. What, you gotta start asking people, why are you talking like that?
Yeah.
Why is Charlie Kirk so intertwined in talking about black on black crime? Who was his best friend? Was it Candace Owens? Oh, I'm just gonna sit that there. I'm gonna leave it alone to think about that later.
They was close. They was definitely close. So yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, you know, to add to that, you know, studies was done. I saw that somebody was mentioning that, like, studies was done about, you know, racism and all of that. It's like they be so gung ho against black people or whatever, but they want to see a man with the biggest mandingo bang their wife. It's like, what is this? What is wrong with y'all? That's how you know racism is like it's a disease of the mind. It's like it makes no, because it's of course it's not going to make any sense. It doesn't make sense to people with common sense. It doesn't make sense. How can you hate and love? I can't even get my fucking words out because it just doesn't. I can't make it register because, you know.
You want to sit in the chair and watch me thrash some shit. You are a weirdo, brother. You are weird.
You want me to go to town on your wife, buddy? No problem.
I bet you ain't never heard this song. I bet you ain't never heard her make this song.
Oh my God. I'm gonna reach spaces you ain't never reached. Anyway, I ain't gonna go into all of that. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm gonna close out the show. You can give your final thoughts on any topic that we've talked about today, anything in particular.
Rest up, brother Cyrus. You'll be missed, and it's very unfortunate that you won't get a chance to grow up.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. Myron is a bitch, and I'm 100% sure that he likes black men. I can guarantee it. He has something about him is very homosexual. To the community, can we please stop looking at how the world views us? And could we put down this, I'm from this neighborhood, I'm from that neighborhood, I rep this, I rep that, the places that none of us really, can we put that down and start trying to not only protect ourselves, protect the women, protect the children, but come together as a collective where we can really make a change and where our communities can look like they used to.
Yeah.
And our doctors and our lawyers and our architects and our engineers and our skilled trades and people that can add value, that we can all stay around each other and build up our community where we can walk around and be safe. We can walk around and we feel like, even though this place doesn't want us, but in this community wants me. This community wants me here, and they want to see me prosper. They want to see me thrive. That is my message to the community. Can we stop the bullshit? Who cares what's happening on Eddie's? Or who cares what's happening in the music industry? Who cares what's happening in football space? Let's put all those things to the side. Focus on the things we need to be focused, which is ourselves and cleaning ourselves.
Yeah.
It's my mess. And one more time, I'm going to say this. I think Myron is good. I think the red pill talking points are really, my opinion.
Got you. Understand. Well, you always have you always have a room space to speak on this platform. And I ain't never gonna sugarcoat you or try to hide your words or any of that. Yeah, I agree with quite a lot of what you said. Same. Rest in peace to Cyrus. You know, it's just sad that this type of shit is taking place, and you never want to see it happen, and you almost never want to check the news or check anything on social media for that matter, because you don't know who's gonna be the next one. Hell, it could be anybody for that matter, any one of us. And you know, at this point, you know, I am starting to be selfish, and I think we as black people need to be selfish. You know, we need to only start, you know, only caring about black issues. We only need to start caring about black people. And I get it. I understand. There are some people within our community, because we are not a monolith. There are some people in our community that make that task harder than it needs to be. I get it. If don't nobody else understand this, I understand. You can go into something with the mindset of black people, we need to stick together. We need to have some camaraderie. We need to begin the process of rebuilding our greatness. And then you have some raccoons in the bunch, and you have some suckers that don't share that same sentiment, because again, black people are not a monolith. While it would be great for all of us to get on one accord, that's just not the reality. I've said this before, and I mean when I say conservatism is the problem. Conservative minded people are the problem with this country, because they don't want progress. They want things to stay the same or even go back to a time where it favored them. They don't like progress. They hate progressives. They hate progress in general. I'm not going to make this political because fuck the Democrats and the Republicans, but I will say conservatism is a blight on our society, wanting to keep things the same. You ever hear someone say, they want traditionalism? Be careful of that word, traditionalism, especially as black people. You hear someone talking about traditionalism, pay close attention to what they mean, because they would love to take away certain amendments in that Constitution that they so-called created. They would love to get rid of things in there, such as women's rights to vote, people's citizenship. Don't think for a single second if they had their way, they wouldn't try to bring slavery back. I think it was 2026. See, that's y'all problem. That's people's problem. You think because in the year 2026 of our Lord and the year 2027 of our Lord, that's your problem. You are trying to progress. You are trying to move forward. They are not. That is the problem with conservatism. They ain't trying to move forward. They stuck in their era. They like it the way it was, which is why they're trying to return things to the way they were. That's why we having these conflicts. That's why we having all these problems in society now. Conservatism is the problem. Again, this isn't a political statement. Just look at it. Study conservatism and see for what it is. See it for what it is. People get so caught up in this red, blue, Democrat, Republican shit. It's been the same people all along. They just switch clothes, switch hats, switch colors. That's it. It's been the same motherfuckers. The same motherfuckers causing the same fucking problems because they mindsets ain't never changed. What does it mean to conserve? To save, right? To hold on to. Conserve, right? We should be trying to conserve our fucking environment, but they call themselves conservatives and they the biggest fucking polluters in the fucking on the planet. How you call yourself a conservative, but you support all the oil industry, fucking up our natural resource. You allow these companies to dump toxic chemicals in black neighborhoods. And here's the thing. You're going to see a lot of white people complaining about these data centers. I don't give a fuck about these data centers. I don't personally. Now, honestly, I know the damage that they cause. And if one ever tried to erupt in my neighborhood, yeah, I'm going to be down there trying to fight that shit. I know I sound hypocritical right now. I am a hypocrite in certain areas. I will admit it publicly. I am a hypocrite in certain areas. I'm human. I'm severely flawed. And so are you. Get off your high horse. But no, am I going to care if it's affecting white communities? Probably not. Well, no, it's no probably. I'm not going to care if it's affecting white communities. You know why? Because you didn't give a shit. You didn't give a shit when those toxic chemical companies were being put in black neighborhoods. Why our kids are being born with asthma and shit because of the toxins that's in the air, because you allow those companies to pollute in our neighborhoods. Y'all didn't give a fuck then. Y'all didn't care about that. You didn't give a fuck about our water supply. Why should we care about these data centers? And I know that may be the wrong way to look at it, but who gives a fuck at this point? We're not in a contest about who's right or wrong. Everybody's wrong. Everybody. That's the way I see it. Everybody is wrong in their own way. Am I wrong for saying some of the things I'm saying behind this microphone? Probably so. But the difference is I'm going to own my bullshit. I own it. I said it. I meant it. I own it. So if you ever think if you confront me in person, they're trying to challenge me on what I said, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on what I said. I'm not going to fall or break. For what? Who are you? Even if you have a point, even if you are able to prove me wrong on certain things, that's not going to change my mind about how I feel about a certain subject. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not a closed-minded asshole. I do welcome new evidence. But if I truly believe in something, that's what I believe in. And I believe that conservatism is the devil. I believe that conservatism is what is destroying this country. And I believe that conservatism is why we'll never get ahead in this country. That's been the show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you rock with it. I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to get some thumbs downs on this video. But if you rock with it, definitely give it a thumbs up, because the haters are going to come out in full force. They definitely don't like when black people have a voice, and definitely don't like when black people don't stand down and stand in their truth and stand on whatever the fuck they said. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.